Welcome to Psychos and Sociopaths.
Can I get a yeah?
You ruined the moment on that one.
I did.
We're talking about serious serial killers. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Serious serial killers.
Oh, you did it slow. You have to do it fast.
Serious serial killers.
Is
I
it
can't say I
5 times?
can't because I'm just, dude, I'm devoid of energy today.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no giddy up or hitch on my giddy up at all.
Well, we basically wasted it all on the sports show. But anyways, going
all
back,
20 minutes of it.
Yeah. Today we're talking about Richard David Falco. God,
Like David Richard Berkowitz.
no, his actual born name.
Born
is
Richard David Falco, yes.
The son of Sam, the 44 caliber killer.
Why is it? I mean, you see his mugshot sitting right there, right?
Yeah.
This guy looks like a great value version of Gene Simmons.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you now. Yeah. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah? Okay.
I wonder if he has a long tongue too. But anyways,
Doubtful.
going back, Berkowitz, David, Richard. Why is it two? Okay, he was born David Falco, but his full name, I guess, when he was caught, was David Richard Berkowitz. I don't know why. Man, he just.
You know, it's fun. It's a fun thought. Just to kind of give your brain a chance to reset here. Is that some of the people that we profile in this show are still alive.
Yeah, this guy's still alive.
So, on the off chance that they get internet privileges, but they get to, like, listen to stuff. Mr. Berkowitz, you look like a fucking... I mean, dude, you could raise a skyscraper on your forehead. Oh my God, I mean, this dude, seriously. Like, come on. What, does he need 2 ball caps to keep that dome under control? Well, what's going on with that?
He looks totally different now, though. He just... him and his... It's really funny is him as an old man kind of looks a little bit cleaner, I guess you would say. But him as a younger self, he looks like... I don't know if it's the camera angle or whatnot. If you give it a chance, just look up the images of him, and it's just when he was younger, it looks like his face was like put on with plastic adhesive, and the rest of it now he just looks normal-ish. It's so weird. But anyways, getting down to the brass tacks of this, Berkowitz grew up in New York City and served in the U.S. Army using a .44 caliber Bulldog revolver. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm curious, just to look at what it looks like. There we go. Oh, okay. We call that snub nose, but it's from Charter Arms Bulldog, and it was introduced in 1973. So, wow, that was a brand new gun. That's what happens when you're running a show and you're actually a gun enthusiast, and you start looking. I was like, what kind of gun is that? Oh, okay, it's a snub nose. Okay. But anyways, Berkowitz, he killed 6 people, wounded 7, and others by July 1977. The killing spree terrorized New Yorkers and gained worldwide
Notoriety.
notoriety. I can't even say that word.
Notoriety.
No, my brain won't work that way.
Okay.
He eluded police in a manhunt while leaving letters that mocked the police and promised further crimes, which were highly publicized by the press. This is another guy that, well, last week we did the Zodiac Killer, but this is another guy that basically taunted the police. And says,
I love what he initially told the police when they apprehended him. I was obeying the orders of a demon manifested in the form of a dog belonging to his neighbor Sam.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sad that when it comes around to it, some of these killers and everything, it comes to Satanism to a point. I mean, look at and this is another person we'll probably do this next week. It's Charles Manson, but it's just so funny. It's like, why'd you do this stuff? Well, the dog told me it because it's a spawn of the devil. Wait a minute, what? The fuck?
Yeah, right.
I mean, could you imagine the police doing that interrogation and everything? It's like, okay, why'd you do it? The dog told me because it has that. Well, this is a new one.
Yeah. What is it, that Adult Swim cartoon? What is it, Pickles or something like that? It's like a Satan dog, and anyways.
I think I've seen that one.
Where the sheriff's name is Sheriff, and he got his own spinoff. Like, my mama named me Sheriff, yeah.
Okay. But
oh, shit. This week's content is brought to you by exhaustion and...
dementia?
No, not dementia. Because I never once walk out of the house intentionally without my underwear.
You wear underwear?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
No. You had that look on your face that said that you were wanting to say something, but you blocked it.
I have it on good authority that I am going to be able to try out those Duluth Trading Company ballroom boxer briefs.
Oh, those?
Yeah.
You know, I took a good look at them. The briefs that I get, it kind of already has that.
It's got the pouch,
yeah,
right?
it's kind of got a pouch into it.
Yeah, I got a pair on right now. It's fucking marvelous, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Because, you get that whole... it's like a brand new pair, you know, and you get that comfort, that security, that just that overall...
It's like a little glove, silky glove holding your ball sack.
It's like a hammock, but not at the expense of fabric. Does that make any sense?
No, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean,
it's like I said, it's like a
silk
glove.
It's like having your balls just swaddled, and it's.
You know, it'd probably make it even better, especially when we're going around working and everything. That medicated Gold Bond powder.
Oh my God, dude! No. Okay. Right. So, in the Army, it was like, okay, you get out of the shower. First thing you want to do is put some Gold Bond on, right? Just to kind of dry your boys out. And the medicated stuff, holy shit! Wow, that's fire, bro. Like, literally. I mean, dudes that aren't ginger run around talking about their fire crotches. I'm like, oh my God, No. I mean, I'll do it to an extent, but I'll use regular Gold Bond. I'll use the medicated stuff on my feet.
It cools a lot better. I like the cooling feeling.
Yeah, or you can just do like I do and just stand in front of a fan.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Hey, air dry. Help me help you. Right? No, Jerry Maguire, nothing? Bueller? Okay.
No, I got it. I was just saying that the Gold Bond medicated just feels a lot better. It makes me feel, medicated. I can't say anything else. It just gives me that fluffy feeling that I like.
Seems that I don't have to apply medication to my groin area to begin with.
Okay.
See, all right. Do we want to go back to our topic now?
Yeah, sure, why not? According to Berkowitz, claimed that his first...
You know who's going to have a wreck because of us, right?
Who?
Maria.
Yeah, probably. We won't hear the end of it. At least, Maria, I'm talking into the mic so you can actually hear me.
I mean, we're sitting here talking about cradling and swaddling our balls because of underwear, and then you start launching into medicated ball powder.
That stuff is good.
I know. I've used it before. I'm just like... I wanted to see how much line I had to let out before you hung yourself out.
I'm surprised they don't have like something for women's breasts, because those things sweat like hell.
It's like udder cream.
Literally,
that's what it's called. It's called udder cream. Yeah.
I had to learn something new today.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I used to know a couple of chicks. They used to like deodorant.
Yeah, yeah,
like
same principle.
deodorant.
So, like, when you go on a road march or a ruck march, you put deodorant on the inside of your thighs, so that way you don't get chafe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, according to Berkowitz, his first attack, he didn't say his first kill. His first attack was when he was 22, and it was on Christmas Eve, 1975, when he used a hunting knife to stab 2 women in a co-op city. Is there a city named Co-op?
It wouldn't surprise me. There's an Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah. There's also a Blue Ball, Pennsylvania.
I'm checking it out.
And there's a township somewhere. There's a township somewhere. There's a township somewhere in the UK named Fuck, F-U-C-K.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the Bronx. The co-op city is in the Bronx.
Right.
One alleged victim was a Hispanic woman, was never identified by police, but the other was a 15-year-old Michelle Foreman, a sophomore at Truman High School, whom he attacked on a bridge near Dyersor Loop and was injured, whose injuries was so severe for her to be hospitalized for 7 days. So the dog told him to go there and start stabbing people. I guess most of the killers, they start off small no matter what.
Yeah. I think it starts out where they just think, okay, well, I'm going to do this one small just to see if I can do it.
Well, that's why a lot of them just do animals first.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a connection here because the dog was telling him to do it.
That's the reason why he didn't start with animals.
That's right.
He probably was going to start with animals, and the dog started talking to him, and he's like, oh, I should just kill humans? That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Let's just do that.
Yeah, we're going to move right into human testing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go for the human testing.
Right.
Go straight for the talking ones.
If I stick you with this, tell me if it hurts.
Yeah. The first shooting attempted to the Son of Sam's, according to Son of Sam, was in Pelham Bay around Bronx. I guess most of his stuff was around the Bronx. I thought most of his stuff was in the big park.
Central Park?
Central Park, yeah.
Well, we're learning all kinds of stuff today.
Yeah. About 1 a.m. on July 29th, 1976, Donna Laura, okay, an emergency medical technician, 18, and her friend Judy Vallett, a nurse, 19, were sitting in Vallett's double-parked Oldsmobile, discussing their events at Peachtree. God, I cannot talk. Laura opened the car door to leave and noticed a man quickly approaching, and angered by the man's sudden appearance, she said, "Now what is this?" This is totally New York. This is totally New York. Instead of like staying in her car and everything like that, or driving away because she felt unsafe, no, she freaking antagonizes the man. Balls! Brass balls!
I wonder if she said that and she'd have talked to him like this.
I don't think that's an Italian name.
No?
No, it might be. No, it might be.
Okay.
The man produced a pistol from a paper bag that he carried. He braced one elbow on his knees, aimed the weapon with both hands and fired. Logie was struck with one bullet that killed her instantly. Valet was shot in her thigh, and the third bullet missed both women. The shooter turned and walked away quickly.
Yep, and it's pronounced Valentini.
Yeah, then it's Italian.
So she said that she's going to talk to him like it is. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
anyways.
he's doing the Italian hand gestures that proves that it's basically the hand gestures for spaghetti, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, that hand gesture, it means a lot to everything else.
How incredibly tired are we? I mean, like...
I don't think we're just tired. I think it's just it might be a little bit of exhaustion. But
plus the weather outside?
Yeah, I think it's the weather. Because right now, it's milky weather right now, and we're trying to entertain a little bit, but we're also just tired.
Yeah.
But we're stupid soldiers when we just drug on no matter what.
Right.
The next couple was Dorino and, man, I cannot pronounce these names. Rosemary. I'll just say Rosemary.
She had a baby.
Yeah, 18 were sitting in...
You just, never mind. Totally skipped over that.
Oh, yeah, Rosemary's Baby. I got you.
Okay, see, there you go. All right.
I was like, really? She had a baby?
Denario and Keenan. October 23rd, 1976, a similar shooting event occurred in a secluded residential area of Flushing, Queens, next to Brown Park. Carl Denario, a Citibank security guard, 20, and Rosemary Keenan, a Queens college student, 18, were sitting in Keenan's parked car when the windows were suddenly shattered. I felt like the car exploded, Denario said later. Keenan quickly started the car and sped away for help. A panicked couple did not realize that someone had been shooting at them. Even though Denario was bleeding from a bullet wound to his head, Keenan had only superficial injuries from the broken glass, but Denario eventually needed a metal plate to replace a portion of his skull. Neither victim saw the attacker. Police determined that the bullets embedded in Keenan's car were .44 caliber, but they were so deformed that they thought it unlikely that they could ever be linked to a particular weapon. He's probably because he was using hollow points. Denario had shoulder-length hair, and the police later speculated that the shooter had mistaken him for a woman. Keenan's father was a 20-year-old veteran police detective of the New York City Police Department, causing an intense investigation. As with the Laura Valentini shooting, however, there seemed to not be any motive for the shooting, and police made little progress with the case. Many of the details between the two cases were very similar, but police didn't initially associate them, partly because the shootings occurred in different boroughs and were investigated by different police precincts. And then later on, Damasi and Lomino shooting in 1976, or November of 76 rather. Donna Damasi, 16, was a high school student, and Joanne Lomino, a student at Martin Van Buren High School, was 18. Walking home from a movie soon after midnight on November 27th of 76. They were chatting on the porch of Lamina's home in Floral Park when a man dressed in military fatigues, who seemed to be in his early 20s, approached them and began to ask directions. In a high-pitched voice, he said, "Can you tell me how to get?" but then quickly produced a revolver. He shot each of the victims once, and as they fell to the ground injured, he fired several more times, striking the apartment building before running away. A neighbor heard the gunshots, rushed out of the apartment building, and saw a blond man rush by, gripping a pistol in his left hand. So that's another New York thing. Gunshots. Hey, I'm going to fucking go outside and see what the fuck's going on. I'm trying to sleep here, right?
No, what's really even funnier than that is, have you ever heard the story of Rob Zombie's first trip to New York when he got there?
No.
Rob Zombie witnessed a murder within, I think he said, 45 minutes of getting to New York. And in this time frame, the 70s and early 80s,
okay,
New York was
the Wild West.
Was basically the Wild West, yeah. I mean, muggings. I mean, it's getting there now.
Yeah, it's getting back that way.
And it's just to the point to where it I really never really liked big cities. When I went to a trip to D.C., and D.C.'s kind of a big place and everything, but I was so worried that we were going to get mugged even though we were in a group. So we were somewhat safe because we were in a group.
Yeah.
But places like that, you really need to get in a group.
Yeah, but Damasi had been shot in the neck, but the wound wasn't life-threatening, and Lamina was hit in the back and hospitalized in serious condition. She was ultimately rendered paraplegic. Fround and Deal, January of 1977. At about 12:40 in the morning on January 30th of that year, Christine Fround, a secretary 26 years old, and her fiancé John Deal, a bartender 30, were sitting in Deal's car near the Forest Hills LIRR station in Queens, preparing to drive to a dance hall after having seen the movie Rocky. 3 gunshots penetrated the car, and in a panic, Deal drove away for help. He suffered minor superficial injuries, but Fround was shot twice and died several hours later at the hospital. Neither victim had seen their attacker. Police first made the public acknowledgement that the Fround Deal shooting was similar to earlier incidences, and that let me see here. And that the crimes might be associated. All of the victims had been struck with .44 caliber bullets, and the shooting seemed to target young women with long dark hair. NYPD Sergeant Robert Conlon stated that the police were leaning towards a connection in all these cases. Composite sketches were released of the black-haired Laura Valentini shooter and the blonde Lamino Damasi shooter, and Conlon noted the police were looking for multiple suspects, not just one. So, I mean, at that point,
What?
At that point, I mean, he's just using disguises. When you and I can sit there in an armchair quarterback that and figure that out. But, you know, he's established his MO a little bit. And I don't know, it just, you want to say lazy police work, but it's like, okay, they've got composite drawings of the shooter, but at any point did they ever think, you know, like, okay, these guys, they're sort of similar to, I don't know. I mean, we can say that 40-something years removed and be like, you know, yeah, you guys dropped the ball on this one and could have stopped it a lot sooner, but...
Well, back then, the problem with that, it was more or less it's like what we had during 9/11. We have a lot of cross chatter of what is something that was going to happen. But no one was going up to the FBI, no one was going to the CIA, no one was going up to Homeland Security now, but it was NSA. They weren't sharing information like they do now. Now they have like a global database almost, or national database.
Yeah.
And they compile all this stuff, and if anything, I mean, nowadays you have a lot of stuff for us to where it compresses everything. If they find a link to one thing, they find a link to another thing, and it just goes spiraling down. Now, for his letter, I want to do this because I'm reading it, and it kind of sounds like the dog's talking. It's really weird, but I'm gonna try to do this voice. I am deeply hurt by your calling me a woman hater. I am not. But I am a monster. I am the son of Sam. I am a little brat. When Father Sam gets drunk, he gets mean. He beats his family. Sometimes He ties me in the backyard and back of the house. Other times, he locks me in the garage. Sam loves to drink blood. Get out and kill, commands Father Sam. Behind our house, some rest, mostly young, raped, slaughtered. Their blood. I can't do this if you just look at me like that.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna make eye contact with you.
Their blood drained. Just bones now. Papa Sam keeps me locked in the attic, too. I can't get out, but I look out. It's just long and hot. But the last part of it, I say goodbye and good night. Please let me haunt you with these words. I'll be back. I'll be back. To be interpreted as bang, 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 bank, bang, ugh. You're in murder.
Yours in murder, Mr. Monster.
Yours in murder, Mr. Monster. So he seemed sane. Oh, a little bit too much on that one?
No. I mean, hey, bravo.
The way it's written, it really is. Sounds like it's written by a 2-year-old.
Yeah, but you kind of wonder. You kind of wonder. I mean, he had to have known what he was doing when he was writing these letters, and he was just like, I think that this is like next level troll.
Yeah, there's
what he's doing,
and there's several letters on the internet if you want to go ahead and take a look at it. But finally, and he was a suspect on August 9th, and on August 10th, they got enough evidence to where they actually arrested him. Police investigated Berkowitz's car that was parked in the street outside the apartment building at 35 Pine Street in Yorks. They saw the gun in the back seat, searched the car, and found a duffel bag full of ammunition, maps of the crime scene, and threatening letters addressed to Inspector Timothy Dawn of the Omega Task Force, who was in charge of the actual task force. Police decided to wait for Burkus to leave the apartment rather than risk a violent encounter in the building's narrow hallways. They also waited to obtain a search warrant for the apartment, worried that their search might be challenged in court. The initial search of the vehicle was based on the handgun being visibly in the back seat. Who the fuck does that? I mean, there's carefree people, and they're just stupid carefree people. Like, I'll just get this later.
Yeah.
Chunks in the back. But the detective, now I've got you, said to the suspect, who have I got? You know, the man said, and what the detective remembered was a soft, almost sweet voice. See, told you.
Yeah.
No, I don't. You tell me. The man turned his head and said, I am Sam. You're Sam? Sam whom? Sam David Berkowitz. And an alternate version claimed that Burke's first words were reported to be, well, you got me. How come it took such a long time? So he basically wanted to be caught, from what, gathering all this information and everything. But he was, I don't know why, but you get that special kind of crazy when you're in New York at times. Not that I divvy on anybody from New York.
Yeah, and I mean, because everybody's got their own special breed of crazy, but New
Yorkers, we
Yorkers,
definitely have it here.
New Yorkers get a different kind of crazy because, I mean, their kind of crazy holds up in their apartment for weeks and months at a time, and when they do decide to come out, people end up in body bags.
Yeah, pretty much. But, and in this time frame, the reason why a lot of the satanic stuff in this time frame, I mean, you got Rosemary's Baby,
yeah,
The Exorcist.
Oh, what is that old show? Omen.
Omen.
Yeah.
A lot of the Devil Worshiper stuff was actually during that time frame, and it brought around a lot of crazy. I mean, when When was John Lennon killed? John Lennon killed late 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to him. His murderer was, of course, he was a douchebag. Dude, have you heard the stuff from John Lennon? He was a fucking degenerate piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a malcontent. In 2002, during the DC sniper attacks, remember those?
Yeah.
Berkowitz wrote a letter to the sniper telling him to, quote, stop hurting innocent people. Berkowitz made his comments in a 3-page letter to Rita Crosby, a senior Chicago correspondent for Fox News Channel. Because she wrote him seeking his comment on the sniper attacks. But it's like, wow, okay. This dude's sitting there going, stop hurting innocent people. It's like, that's all that he did. Well, maybe he's finally learning something, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's like that old saying, the first time I found Jesus went in the back of a cop car.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The legal effect of this, though, after reporting speculations about publishers offering Berkowitz large sums of money for his story, the New York State legislature swiftly passed a new law that prevented convicted criminals and their relatives from making any financial profits from book, movies, or other enterprises related to the story of their crime. But the so-called Son of Sam law for violating First Amendment rights of free speech in 1991, the case of Simon and Schuster Incorporated versus Crime Victim Board. But the New York published continued to revise the version of the law in the following year. So that was another thing I've always. I mean, there's a way around it to where, say, someone we know was a criminal, and we write a book. They can't make any money off it. Most laws in most states state that the criminals can't make any money off the crime. But what they do is they find like a ghostwriter, writes the story and everything, reaps like amount of money, and he ends up donating some to the criminal. Matthew Cox did, who's a well-known crime writer. He has a podcast and everything like that now.
Yeah.
He was an ex con artist. He did real estate cons. And when he was in prison, that's all he did. He started doing it after a while. He started writing crime stories.
Yeah.
The one it's really good read is the Emperor of the World one.
Mm-hmm.
Guy literally thinks he's the emperor of the world. Sorry. And he's a damn good lawyer. He knows like all the laws. He gets a lot of people's time cut in half because he's a damn good lawyer, but he's batshit crazy.
Well, everybody's got their kinks, right?
Yeah. But there is a lot of documentaries and movies about David Berkowitz. I mean, you can go through all that stuff. A lot of it's more dramatized and everything. But the most of the thing is he thought the dog was trying to tell him to kill people. So
yeah.
But anyways, people, we're going to let off on this one. Next time, we're going to talk about Charles Manson. And
Charles Manson?
Yeah, Charles Manson.
I thought we were going to do Scott Peterson.
Oh, yeah, we're doing Scott Peterson next week. And then after that, we're going to do Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott Peterson. That's a fucked off case, too.
Yes, it is. So if you are a fan of the contemporary murder, high-profile murder cases. Next week's definitely going to be one you're going to want to tune in for. Give us a like on Facebook. Give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter also. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. If you're on YouTube, smash the subscribe button. Give the notification bell a ring. Give us an up or down vote, and then get involved with comments on the page. And I'm Johnny Skelton.
I'm David Dickerman. And this is Psychos and Sociopaths. See you later, people.